All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody doing? Let's see who we got. Mary Taylor's here. JJ's in the house. Angela Fleming. Dale from Ohio. Delbert. Carol Prince. Good to see you guys. Welcome. I hope everybody's day is going better. It was an interesting. I had to laugh. I got to tell you. I got to mention one comment right away. So the person was like, "Well, why would you be surprised that there was wind damage? There was the forecast was for high winds, and I wasn't surprised. I knew it was coming. It's like, but when you see it, firsthand, it's like, okay. It was very, very interesting night, but too funny. No, I always have to laugh at those type of things, and when people put that type of stuff. I mean, weather's going to be what the weather's going to be. That's just a factor that you can't factor in. I mean, realistically, um, Mother Nature is going to do what she's going to do, and we just have to ride with the punches. Really? Already? Stop. No. Now you got to go stop. Stop. I love you, but no. Go relax. You're not going out right now. No, you're not. No, no, you're not. I don't care. No, stop. Listen, you're being an attention whore. All right. I love you very much, but you're being very needy, and you're yes, I know. Um, I'm not sure what the wind gust got up to, but I will tell you right now. This camper was rocking. I can tell you that. I was like, wow, that was pretty wild. So we definitely had some big winds kicking through the whole area. Hell, stop it! You're not going out right now. Yeah, but the winds were definitely rocking. It was a definitely an interesting night. And then you wake up, and I knew it was going to be a rough one. I had seen some of the stuff with the chicken run, and I didn't realize that. And then during the night, two pieces absolutely broke off. So the wind gust here was up to blow me down type of wind here today. Yeah, it was. Yeah, like I said, it was pretty intense. What I ended up doing for that main piece on top that broke in two, I took a piece of stick that I had, and I put that up there, and I had Steve holding it, and I put the two ends together, just so that they were touching, and then I zip tied everything. So it's jerry rigged. It's absolutely jerry rigged. But guess what? It works, and it's working. So then I had to, like, along the bottom, I had to do zip ties because everything was torn up. It was just like what it was. It is what it is. You just one of those things that you got to deal with, and we definitely need to make a better permanent chicken coop area. That's what absolutely's got to get done. It was that was supposed to be temporary, and now it's 2 years. So and I'm currently mylar bagging ammo. Once I open these O2 absorbers, how long do I have before they go bad? Um, well, with the oxygen absorbers, you probably should try to use them up as quickly as possible. I'm not sure how quickly they'll go bad, but you might want to reseal them, put them in a Ziploc bag after you've opened them, just so that you can try to extend them out. That's what I would do. Make sure you reseal them in something else until you're ready to use the rest of them. But yeah, I'm actually going to be going out. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it tomorrow, but I'm going to be going, and I want to do another group shop. We're gonna have to do a group shop and get some more stuff. That way, I want to get our numbers of what we have available up. So that's one of the things that is in the game plan. There's always something in the game plan. It's one of those things that you got to take care of. But oh, I wanted to address something too. And guys, listen. So first of all, I've already addressed this in the past, right? I've already addressed this in the past, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen me address this in the past. And first of all, I don't have to address it because it's nobody's business. But I'm going to address it just to explain if this person is watching so that they understand. So one of the comments that I got today in today's video was like, why do you have a gun strapped to your hip on your own property? So first of all, again, like I said, that's nobody's business what I do, when I do, or why I do it. But I will address it, okay? As I have explained previously, I live in the middle of the woods. I am not the apex predator in the middle of the woods. We have four-legged critters out here that will ruin your day in a hurry if you are not prepared for them. And also, there are two-legged creatures that might mean you harm if they get an opportunity to do something. So if you have a reputation, right, of always being armed and being prepared, that's why, because it's not just animals. People can act stupid too, but if you are ready, they will think twice if they say, "Oh man, this dude is armed and he's not afraid to use it." So, um, you know, that's what I do, because again, you just never know. I don't know if there's going to be a rabid animal out there that I may have to take care of them. So, yeah, why do you not have a firearm on you at all times? Exactly. That's even a better. And same situation, you never know what you might run into. So I would rather, instead of having my hat in my hand and tipping my hat to whatever's going to try to hurt me, I want to be able to take care of business if I need to. So that's just kind of, that's that. So, but anyway, so yeah, I saw that comment, and I was going to reply on the and I said, well, I'll talk about it in the live stream. But so those type of people, um, that have that mindset, they're not thinking clearly, I guess is the right terminology. I don't know, or they live in an area where they don't think that they need to. Yeah, rifles are awkward. Yeah, it's hard to carry a rifle around. Hey, I'll tell you what, right now, SHTF happens, guarantee you. Yeah, exactly, JJ. Yep. Actually, I have a holster coming. Rob, uh, we went online and ordered a holster because being a lefty, you just can't walk into a gun store and they don't really have a whole lot of things available for left-handed people. So we ended up ordering online, and Rob ordered it. I paid him for it, and then he had it delivered to his house, and so he's bringing that down when he comes down. So looking forward to that. That's going to be pretty cool. So yeah, 45 has got a lot more stopping power than a 9mm. That is for sure. I like both. I think both are great weapons to have, but again, you just have to be as ready as you can be, and But I will tell you this. Oh, he's got it already packed. He says, "All right, cool." Um, I will tell you this: when a true SHTF situation happens, I will always have a rifle on me, and I will always have a pistol on me at all times. And everybody in my group will be doing the same thing. We will be armed and ready to deal with whatever we may have to happen. So, you know, yeah, SHTF happens, the rifles come out. Right. You don't want to do close quarter combat if you don't have to. That's the key. But last case scenario, having that pistol on you could be the difference. So, anyway, so I want to talk about SHTF. Something goes down. Where do you want to be? What do you want to do? I've kind of talked about these things a little bit in the past, but I was sitting down with Steve today and we were having a discussion about different stuff. Yeah, throwing knives. Yep. I'll show you right. I'll show you right here. Throwing knives. Absolutely. So that having many options is a good thing. So yeah, so that's it's a 3-pack of throwing knives, and you just put that on the old belt loop as well, and that's not a bad thing to have when the time comes, but really really good thing to have when the time comes. But anyway, so I've heard a lot of talk and a lot of people talking about I'm going to bug in, right? I'm going to bug in wherever they are. They're going to bug in, and and I really wanted to discuss everything. What are you going to do? Where are you going to go? Those type of things, and I kind of wanted to give you, you know, my opinion. Throwing axes. Heather's really, really good at throwing axes. Yes, she is. Um, and I wanted to give you my opinion of, you know, for what led me to be where I am, in my thought process. I lived in suburbia. When I finally woke up, realized that we are living in very tumultuous times. I was living in suburbia. Now, I've lived in the city. I lived in the city when I was younger. Grew up in the country. So let me just. I grew up on a farm. So I grew up in the country, and then from there, when I was a young man, I lived in the city for a few years, and I hated the city. God, had a couple of different apartments. Then when I was with my first wife, we lived in the city as well, and you got neighbors just right up your butt, and it's just, yeah, no. And then we moved into suburbia. So talk about the city first, okay? If you are in a city and you are a prepper, you need to get out of a city as quickly as you possibly can. Move, get out of there. Don't stay in the city. you know, I don't care if you are, you live in an apartment complex, or you have your own house in the city. Um, Not a safe place to be when things go bad, because again, the number of people that are unprepared, that's a lot of victims. And if they realize that you have something, you're going to be screwed. Because what they're going to do, folks, and I'm telling you is right now, apartment buildings, houses, whatever. And even if you have your place defendable, let's say you have, you can board up all your windows and your doors, and you can, in kind of like lay low and all that type of stuff. There's going to be groups in the city that are going to go from house to house to house to see what they can get, or apartment to apartment, to see what they can get. And if they can't get into your place, they will probably burn it down. All right. If you're fighting them and not letting them in, they may not get your supplies, but they'll burn you out and they'll kill you. Okay. So not a good place to be, not a good place to really try to lay low. There's way too many people, and there's too many things that can happen bad. If you can survive the first 90 days, America will be a very desolate place. After 90 days, just avoid the roaming hordes. It might take a little bit longer than 90 days. You're going to see a drastic decrease in the population within 90 days. My biggest thing, and this is what I've said before, you make it through your first winter. That's going to be the key right there. Make it through your first winter. Because again, when you have so many people that are unprepared, winter comes, now they're snowed in and they're not getting out, no matter where they are. I don't care if you're in suburbia, the country, the city. Once that winter hits and nobody's coming to save the day, you're screwed. Okay, unless you are ready. And so that's a key. But again, not only do you need to be ready to ride out a winter, but you got to be ready to fight off people that are going to go, well, hey, there's smoke coming out of that chimney, out of that house. So they got heat and we don't have heat. I mean, there's so many things that go involved with it, guys, that it's just, it could be a nightmare, absolute nightmare. So that's going to be a key factor. So this, I would not be in a city for nothing. I would not be in suburbia for nothing. Okay, not for $1 million. You couldn't give me someplace in suburbia surrounded by a bunch of strangers, that are unprepared, because people are going to be very, very vicious. They're going to be nasty. That's prepping in the Philippines, where there's no winter growth 365 days a year. The challenges are water and shade. uh, Peace to all the prepper nation. That, yeah, well, if you're in an area where you can grow year round, that's great. And like I said, the challenges are going to be water and staying in the shade and staying cool, and those things can be worked on. You know, but anyway, suburbia, city, completely out, because again, it's not necessarily that you couldn't survive. you couldn't, ride it through and be okay. It's other people are going to realize that, hey, there's somebody there and they have stuff and they're going to come and they're going to take it if they can. And if they can't take it, they're going to burn you out. They're going to kill you. They're going to do whatever they have to do, because they're not going to let you just ride. They're not going to. Okay. Again, how many people does a group need to defend a group supply and land? That's a great question, Joe, and we'll get into that. That was a part of what I wanted to talk about with this as well today. So I will address that. Okay, so just hang tight on that one. Um, so the country is going to be your best option. The less people that are around, the better off you're going to be. I picked West Virginia, guys, for a lot of strategic reasons. Okay. Um, do you have any idea when SHTF will happen? I don't really think anybody has any idea. I mean, if you had an idea, okay, yeah, it's coming within the next 6 months, you would be getting ready. You would just be doing things and be like, okay, we got this small amount of time. There is no, it's going to happen in this window. There is no window that we're going to go, okay, this is when it's going to happen. That's why you continuously prepare the best way that you can. And again, part of that preparation is for natural disasters as well, because natural disasters are not going to stop happening. So the more ready you are for situations like that, okay, the better off you're going to be. All right. Now, okay, so with being in the country, my recommendation to people is always going to be the high ground. Okay. As we have seen, what happens with natural disasters, when you look at what happened in North Carolina, that whole area through Asheville, it's a beautiful, beautiful area up there. Okay. But a lot of people are right down by the river because it's beautiful. It's a wonderful place to be until it's not. Okay. Until that natural disaster comes. And it might only happen once every 15, once every 20 years. Okay. But the chances are that there's going to be flooding. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Out of the many millions of city dwellers, how many will actually scatter to the country? Very few, JJ. Very, very few. And I'll tell you why. So we're going to bounce here. Because JJ is asking actually a really, really good question. Yeah, and they had looters there too. Exactly, Yvonne. Yep, exactly. In North Carolina, they had looters. Of course they did, because people are always going to try to take advantage of the situation. So millions of people in the city. So we're going to go with New York City. Okay, New York City's on an island to start with. Number one. Okay, and so there's only certain ways that you can get out of New York City. And have you ever been to New York City? I've been to New York City. Not one of my favorite places to be. I went down there to watch the Yankees play baseball. That's why I went to New York City. I've been there a couple times. Not any place that I want to go and hang out and stay and stuff like that. The traffic is outrageous. In the best scenario, okay, that's in the best scenario. In an end of the world SHTF situation, it's going to be gridlock. So unless you're willing to pack up and walk out on foot, you're probably not, unless you're probably maybe the first 100, 200 cars or 400 cars. But as soon as everybody's not obeying traffic laws and everybody's trying to get out as quickly as they can, it's going to be accidents. Nobody's clearing those accidents up. And then it's going to be gridlock. So unless you're heading out on foot, you're not going anywhere. Okay. So most people will look at that and they'll go, it's gridlock. We can't get out. Let's just go home. We'll wait at home. Or they'll think we'll wait it out at home. Believe it or not, the majority of the people will not leave. Some will try. Okay. Some will try. And some will successfully get out of there. But again, so here's part of what I was going to be talking about. So they get out of the city. Where are they going? Do they have a plan? Do they know what they're going to do? Do they have a location? Okay, if I get to point B, I'll be safe. You know, not going to happen. Gangs will head out on bikes. Oh, that's a possibility, Tammy. Yeah, absolutely. You know, there will be armed gangs all over the place, controlling areas. They'll hit the warehouses, and because they'll know where the food is at. Grocery stores will be cleaned out really, really quickly anyway with looting. That'll happen real fast, real fast. So again, you want to put yourself in a situation where it's going to be dangerous? That's what you got to think about too. Guys, what do we got? 280 in the chat. We got 96 thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do that to show support for the channel. Again, I thank you for that. It really does make a huge, huge difference with the algorithms. The more interaction, the better for the channel. Also, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you for that as well. All right, so going back to this now. I've talked about this a million and one times, and this is why I have a group, okay? Safety in numbers. If you do not have the numbers, because somebody had asked, how many people in a group to be able to, you know, take care of everything? Now, I want you to think about this, okay? So we're going to lay this out. And this is for all the lone wolf preppers out there to think that I'm not going to get involved with people. We're just going to write it out by ourselves, okay? You can't stay up 24 hours a day. And after a true SHTF situation, somebody has to be awake at all times. That's key, folks. Somebody has to be awake at all times. So that's 24 hours a day. So you're going to have a rotation of people keeping watch on things, and probably more than one, depending on where you are, what you're doing, and all those type of things, okay? So 24 hours a day, somebody's got to be on watch, paying attention, while other people are working, during the day. There's got to be somebody watching. In the evening, somebody's got to be watching. Especially at nighttime, somebody has to be watching. All right. Now you can set up trip wires. You can set up, booby traps, and you can do all that, which will help. That's an